Good morning and good evening to you, beautiful handsome beings out there. Now, I could spend some time spilling more poetry, but I know why you guys are really here. Let's not pretend. We're here for this Adult Swim toy. You know, the more I open up these blind bags, I've started to grow a real appreciation for the allure of what might be inside. It's pretty exciting. But that alone isn't going to fill my quota for dopamine. I'm going to need you guys to also, subscribe. Yes, I know, call to action. But come on, beanies, come on. You want to see rare toys? I want to see them too. Help a bean out. Alright, let's get on with the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. With bated breath, I can feel your sweat through the bleachers. Calm down, we're gonna go ahead and open this toy. I just figure, you know, since it is the main attraction, I'd set up a nice little nostalgic stage for it, you know? Right? That's just the bat. Now that's what I like to see, a nice clean cut, and... aha! Looks like I might have actually cut it the right way. Feet down. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's discover what this toy is. Cameraman, slow zoom. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Whoa! Brutal. This is beautiful. To anyone who managed to witness Dethklok and Metalocalypse at its hype, really saw some brutal stuff. The show Metalocalypse followed the fictional band Dethklok and his pursuits for creating the most brutal, intense, and chaotic metal that's ever rocked this world, with fans throwing themselves at their feet and sometimes to their death. But all in the sake of good old-fashioned brutal metal. The band is consisted of Swishgar, told in a tree, Toki Wartooth, not a bumblebee, William Murderface, Pickles, the drummer, Doodly Doo, Ding Dong Doodly Doodly Doo, and of course, the main man himself, Nathan Explosion. All that to say that I am thoroughly surprised that this little guy made it into any kind of meal toy, let alone one that could have possibly been handed to a kid. Now, I'll be honest, when this toy first started coming out of the bag, I was a little bit alarmed because I noticed some stark similarities between him and the Space Ghost action figure, mostly in the head. And for those of you wondering why Space Ghost is an echo, I don't know, mind your own business, I am judge. Jeez, God. Let him live his best life. Now before we examine this toy too further, I'm going to be very frank. It's a simple design. Unlike the other figures, like our Meatwad, oh, I'm just pulling out all the classics today, aren't I? Meatwad the character himself is originally very stylized. He has colors that pop, a design that's very simple to transplant and people can still get it. Much like if you wanted to make a SpongeBob version of this, you just put, yellow, some dots, and his silly face on there. Nathan, however, he is a human. And more than that, he's a metal band leader. And with Nathan being part of arguably the most brutal and intense metal band to ever exist, he doesn't really strike me as the kind of dude that likes to go clothes shopping, you know? He strikes me as the kind of dude that wakes up in the morning and grabs the very first shirt that he sees, and if you're gonna put on a t-shirt anyway, what's more brutal than the color black? And while I do like the color black on t-shirts, the downside with this figurine is that it blends a little bit too well with his navy blue jeans. While true to the original character, I gotta say, I don't think it helps him too much here. It almost makes it look like he's wearing a unitard of some sort. And that is not brutal. I do appreciate the little details they did manage to put in there. They colored his shoes to make them stand out, so maybe he's not wearing a unitard. Unless he's wearing ballerina shoes, and that would make sense for a unitard. Despite all that, they did a fantastic job painting his face in vivid color, glaring at us with a chagrin expression. Those piercing green eyes stare us down, somehow making us feel insignificant in his presence, even in figurine form. Feels oddly intimidating. like a little ball of pissed off fury. And despite the lack of detail and accessories, the fact this little brutal character came from a little brutal cartoon and found its way into a kid's meal, it makes me feel extremely hopeful for the future of Happy Meal toys. Because the fact of the matter is, we grew up. We were the kids who wanted and watched these things, and now we're adults, we're gonna spend money, and we could get these. This would make me buy a meal. And you know, with your help and a little bit of push, maybe we can convince these companies to get a little bit more brutal with their Happy Meal toys. What say you, Nathan?